Hi, I'm Lakeisha,
Hey, I'm Natalie.
and this is
Life cracks us up. Are you picking up what we're putting down? Are you enjoying the content? Is there feedback you'd like to provide or topics you'd like to discuss? How about you give us a call and share your thoughts? 757-504-4649. That's 757-504-4649. We would love to hear from you. Howdy ho.
Howdy Neighbor.
Don't you? It's all two shows rolled into one. Every time I do anything from South Park, because that's definitely the Pooh. What is it?
Mr.
You know what
Hanky,
I'm
the
talking.
Christmas poo.
Mr. Hanky the Christmas Pooh. Yeah. But every time I start in my head, immediately I'm like, I'm going down to South Park, gonna have myself time. Friendly faces everywhere, people smiling. I digress.
Girl.
How are you?
I am good. I'm well this week.
Yay. Yay. So I put these glasses on because I always have I have readers everywhere, like everywhere in my house because I have certain readers for certain things. Nothing helps me see the phone like this. I have no idea what I look like. I don't even know if I'm really talking to you. But this made me my red ones made me think of Sally Jesse Raphael
Wow.
and
Okay. No,
that
when they on there.
foolishness going around the internet right now. I don't know if it's true or not, but Kadeem Hardison is supposed to be with her or something. She's like 90 or something like that.
Girl, okay, first of all, I don't watch television or the news, but what? Oh, what?
Listen, you love who you love. I
No.
don't judge. I don't judge.
No.
I'm alone,
Yee.
so I don't judge. You find love where you find love, even if it is
Yeah,
in a
that's
90-year-old snatch. Do you,
wow.
Do you? Do
Wow.
you? I
Hmm.
mean,
Yeah, if it's so, I wish them well.
absolutely. That's what I'm saying. But it kind of makes you wonder, like, how would that even happen? Like, how would y'all even get together? Like, how did you, if it's true, like, how did it even come to
Yeah.
pass? Like,
Yeah, well, stranger things have happened. Snoop and Martha. I didn't see that one coming.
yo, I love that friendship, though. I
I know it's so
completely love that
crazy.
friendship.
Yes.
Yeah, they are bugged
Yes.
out. I completely love that friendship. It matches. It matches. I got a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Would you rather let a dog pee on your leg?
Oh my gosh.
Actually, strike that, reverse it, because it just would you rather let your dog pee on you or your partner pee on you? And you gotta pick one.
Ah, is the partner peeing on my leg?
This is me waiting for your answer.
Ah. I know. I guess you took the part about your leg. That wasn't it. It's just like your dog pee
No,
on you or your
it's just would
part.
you let your
Yeah,
dog pee
it's
on
your
you
dog
or
pee
your
on you or your
partner? Which
partner.
would you rather?
Yeah, totally two different pictures in my mind. So I think I'm gonna have to go with the dog, and I'm gonna say he's gonna pee on my leg.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm definitely letting my man pee on me rather than
I
a
knew it.
dog. Well, listen, some people are into that, number one.
I
But
know.
number
Right. I
two,
know.
I know where he's been. I know what he had to eat, drink. I don't know what that dogs eat their own shit, B. Like, I
I
don't know
thought you were gonna
where
ask me if
this
I could let
scraggly
him.
dog came from.
Thought you were gonna ask me if I let him lick me in the face or something. It's like ah.
Man, man, the Caucasian of it all.
I can't. Yeah.
Negative.
Yeah. Yeah. You dogs lick their butt and then they lick your face. Like
Dogs lick
no,
their
thank you.
butts, other dogs' butts,
I think,
their
yeah.
nuts,
Anybody's
other
butt.
dogs' nuts.
Yeah.
They eat their own shit. They eat other dogs' shit. They just no, no. I don't know what's
Well,
going through that dog system.
I'm
And
gonna
it
hope his
also
kidneys
doesn't.
filtered it out.
Well, it doesn't say whose dog it is. Like if it's my dog, I obviously know what my dog eats, but I don't know what the stray dog out in the street eats. Like
Poop.
I don't know if they got worms and there's like listen, there are too
Ah.
many things that could listen, golden shower me up if I have to choose between the two. I'm just saying you can't just let any old dog pee on me.
Well, hopefully your man ain't stray. She ain't a stray.
I mean, that's the hope. You know what I mean? That's the hope. I'm just saying,
He might
like,
have worms.
I have. Oh, ugh,
I'm just saying.
ugh. That's gross. I can't even fathom that.
Oh, well, speaking of gross, I've got a question for you.
Go for it.
All right. Would you rather be inside of a porta potty when it's pushed over or die 3 weeks earlier than you normally would have?
Died 3 weeks earlier.
I knew you were going to say that. You were gonna say
I don't even know what I'm dying from. Let me
that.
die 3 weeks earlier. It doesn't say, and it says when I'm supposed to. So I could be 99. At 99,
Right.
I've lived all the life I'm gonna live any damn way. But what you're not gonna do is have me laying in shit. And it's funny you say that because I'm gonna bring it right back to you because I'd love to hear your answer, although I think I know it. Um, I just read, I read Stephen King like up and down, and I found a book of short stories in my on my shelf. I was like, did I read this? And as I started flipping through, I was like, I never read this. Well, the very last story was a story about a guy who was at war with his neighbor. His neighbor goes batshit crazy, locks him in a fucking porta potty, and pushes him over. And that's where the guy expects him to die, but he manages to get out. Like, it's crazy, but it's so crazy that you brought that question. And I just finished that book like a matter of days ago.
Wow,
And
I'm
the whole
inside your
time I
head.
was reading it, I was so nauseous. But
I
I had to
know.
see how it ended.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the die as well because if
Yes.
I'm pushed over in the porta potty, I'm probably gonna die then.
Right then and there.
Exactly. And yeah, like I said, who knows when I was supposed to die? So I'll take that. I wouldn't miss that 3 weeks anyway.
Yeah,
But
that's what I'm saying. If I don't know
yeah,
I'm
okay.
going three
Yeah,
weeks, a month, I
no,
don't know
nothing.
that I'm going. So,
Yeah, I didn't know.
but in the book, he climbed into the tank, the hole,
To get out.
and got down to
Mm,
the tank. And luckily, he had
mm,
a flat key for his Vespa or whatever. Old white
mm.
people sort of shit. But he was able to, because the fasteners were all hard rubber, so, or
Mm.
hard plastic rather, so he was able to use that to unscrew, to get out. But listen, you know
No,
how descriptive Stephen King can be. He was talking
yeah,
about toilet paper being on him, and
no,
the
no. So Shawshank Redemption. Then you have to go through the
uh,
sewer.
listen,
Yeah.
Andy Dufresne, bless his heart. But let me tell you, when he met up with Red on that beach, I was here for it. I was like, yes, all them years you spent in prison for something you didn't do.
I know, right? Poor
Mm,
Tang. Poor
yeah.
Tang.
That was such a good movie.
Yeah, I
Stephen
saw it
King.
recently, I think. Yeah, when I was in the hotel sick with the what I had pneumonia, didn't know it. I think one of the days I skipped the session that was on, so I laid in bed and watched it.
Yeah. That man can do no wrong. Hmm. And that
Hmm.
cast was unbelievable.
Yes, it was.
Anywho, anywho.
Anywho,
Speaking of friends and being
friends.
close friends and meeting on beaches after you've served 20 years in prison,
Yeah, speaking of which,
what if he'd have just got there and he'd have been like, I'm not speaking to you, and just turned his
oh,
back?
oh, I still got my shank.
Yeah.
I ain't afraid to go back in.
Wasn't nobody gonna find him on that beach anyway. Andy Dufresne was out there sanding his boat off. Nobody even knew they were there.
So no,
Listen,
ma'am, you're not gonna ghost me after all I went through.
I know
Mm-mm,
that's right. Have you ever
mm-mm.
had that happen though?
What? Ghosted by a friend?
Hmm.
No, because a friend wouldn't ghost me.
That's very true. I don't. I
Hmm.
feel like I have never been ghosted, but I've ghosted. Of course, it was prior to. It wasn't really like, okay. So she was a friend. Actually, that's not ghosting because she was a friend and she was sleeping with the dude I was dealing with in college. Now, mind you, we were friends. Like, I met her before I even met him. So she and I were
Mm.
friends. But I didn't know that those two had already met and had
Oh,
already, I don't know if they had already started. Long story short, I stopped speaking to her, but I don't think that's ghosting. I think that's work. You slept with my boyfriend?
yeah.
So I don't think that's ghosting per se.
I think part of that is like the time that it happened. I feel like ghosting is now more like because of social media.
Oh,
You
it
know,
definitely.
that's kind of what it is. Yeah, because in person, they know you know I'm not talking to you,
Right.
and for your situation, you know why I'm not talking to you.
Exactly, exactly. So yeah,
Yeah,
technically that wouldn't be ghosting. That was just
yeah. So I don't.
I'm not speaking to you.
Yeah, I ain't speaking to you. So yeah, because back as kids when we had real face to face stuff, I'm sure there's some people I fell out with, but you knew
Remember
it.
that face to face communication,
I
physical
vaguely,
touch.
I
Remember?
think I remember something like that way back when,
Way back in the
way
day
back
when
when.
I was young. I'm not a kid anymore, but some days I
You know
sit and
what?
wish I was a kid again.
I
Yeah.
can't with you. But I now, okay, I have been ghosted in my adult life by
Okay.
someone who I thought was a friend.
Okay.
But like I said, I don't think of friends would ghost you. Just tell me what the deal is, because I don't
Yeah.
even know why. I don't even know why I was blocked, and it was crazy because I was still reaching out, and I realized that I don't remember how I found out I was
Yeah.
blocked. I was like, but why?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. What the
yeah,
deal is?
yeah. So I
You
mean,
think
I
you'll
think
ever
if you
find
just
out?
no, nope. Because and before in the beginning when it first happened, I was taken aback. I was
Yeah.
like, it's like
Yeah.
I can't understand how this would happen, and I kept saying, well, I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna talk to them and see what happened, and then I realized it's not worth it because if somebody can just cut you off,
Cut
then
you
you
out
didn't
like
mean
that.
anything. Yeah, you
Yeah.
didn't mean anything to them in the first place.
That's
So
very true. That's very
I'm
true.
not gonna
And
force I'm
it's
not gonna force myself on anyone.
exactly. And especially if, I mean, obviously to that person, it was meaningful. You know what I mean? But how meaningful was it? Or how, like you said, how close were we if you're not even willing to have a conversation with me to try to save the friendship or work through whatever the issue is? You'd much rather just say done than try to figure it out. So that tells me I didn't mean that much to you in the first place.
Yeah. And then even if we were to, after you ghost me and then we talk about it, I'm thinking like, still, why
Now the
would I want this
friendship's different
relationship? Right. Because you can just throw it away at any time.
at any
So
time. Yeah, now I know you're capable of that, and I know that it doesn't take much to do it because I can't put my finger on what I did. And
yeah.
if I can't identify something major, then what set you off? Like
Yeah.
what's that about? Like what are some of the reasons people disappear? Like
I
friends
don't know,
that
like they
you've
got their
had for a long time,
well,
like conflict avoidance, life changes, emotional over you're overwhelmed emotionally. Like what makes somebody just throw a friendship away?
okay, so first of all, you are the friend I've had the longest.
Hmm.
But when we first got together as becoming friends, we were really close, and I think we kind of slipped apart. Well, it wasn't ghosting, but it was life situations. One
Yeah,
point I had a baby, and then when I didn't, you had a
I
baby,
had
and
one.
yeah, so it was like, but I don't know if that's ghosting. We kind of fell off, but I don't think either one of us felt abandoned. We just knew the
Yeah.
other person had some issues. So when even now, like if we don't talk for a while, when we get back together, it's like, hey girl, what's going on?
See,
Nobody's feelings are hurt.
but the difference is if we were to stop talking now, like back then, you're right. We both had just life was crazy. We were both becoming parents after me not ever being one, and you after not having been one for umpteen years, you know. But I think that now, though, if I didn't hear from you, yo, what's going on? Like, you good? you've said to me countless times, I bet you better pick up that phone or I'm on my way over there. But that's what I love about the friends that I have. Everybody knows that every now and again I slip into this little mental thing where I just need to be in my little box by myself. You know me, I'll turn my phone off for 3, 4 days. Not even,
Oh, yeah.
but number one, I try to let y'all know, yo, I'm going dark so that no one's panicking. But if you don't hear from me after what's considered to be a reasonable amount of time, you are 100% reaching out like, yo. So I don't know that, like you said, it was never ghosting because we still kept in touch. We just weren't able to do every day. And, we just kind of lost touch for a minute. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
but I think, and it does perfectly makes sense. But I'm thinking too, like talking about hurt feelings. Like, let's say, like I said, we kind of fell off a little bit because we had life going on. But if the
Hmm.
other person wasn't understanding, then it's like, oh well, if we can't have what we had before, then I don't want to deal with you, and
Right.
just stop reaching out to you or stop accepting your calls. Like,
Yeah, that's crazy.
yeah,
And not for nothing. I know this is going to sound terrible. So I have a very tight circle of friends. You all know who you are. You are my village, right? But I'm to a point in my life, we are just about 54. If something were to happen, right? Obviously, I'm trying to figure it out and I'm trying to work it out. But what I don't have the mental capacity for is to try to babysit it all. Do you know what I mean? Like, even the thought of not having my circle literally in this moment makes my heart feel funny. Like I couldn't imagine my life without these people. But at the same time, I feel like, and I think I've had this conversation with a couple of you all, like I feel like at a certain point I am in the third quarter of my life. I don't have the time to spend to try to suck somebody's ass at this point. Like, look, if you don't
oh
want the
yeah,
friendship with me, I'm gonna try to fight for it. I really truly am, but I can't put all of my energy into trying to make somebody be friends with me if they don't want to be. So,
hmm
you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah,
and
absolutely.
I think that's where you're at in that situation where I'm not gonna fight for something you're not even willing to have a conversation over.
Yeah, unbelievable. It's just like I said, it was the first time that ever happened to me like that, and I was like, I couldn't. And then I got to think, well, what kind of person would do that?
Yeah.
Like, I knew this person. Well, I thought I knew this person, and
I
I
don't know if
didn't
I'm
see
allowed to
that
say
in
the
them.
same person ghosted me. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out there. That same person ghosted me at the exact same time.
Yeah,
So,
it was crazy. But okay, so do you think there's ever a valid reason to ghost someone?
not at my age. Not at my age. I feel like that's for immature people. I feel like that's for people who don't know how to use their fucking words. Because if you have a problem with me, just like I said a second ago, if you have a problem with me, let's talk it out and let's see if it can be saved. If it can, it can't. That's fine.
Right.
At least we've talked about it, we've had a conversation, and we've decided to go our separate ways. But for you to just stop taking calls, especially at that time when I was really in a weird place mentally. Like I was really in a weird place mentally. And you knew that. Now I get it. Like I can't only pay attention to my mental, like you may be going through things as well, but it's hard for me to be there for you when I'm not even here for me.
Hmm.
It doesn't mean I don't care about your situation. It means I'm not mentally equipped to deal with both of ours. Let me get through my
Exactly.
shit, do what you still have to do to get through yours, and then whoever's better or first or whatever the case may be, we come together. I don't know. But
Exactly.
yeah.
But I think that goes back to what I was saying before about difference in our generations. Because yeah, when we were
thousand
younger, we
percent.
talked to somebody, and you see them, and you would have your words because you would have to see them.
Yeah.
But now it's a matter of clicking a button, and they can't get through to you anymore.
Yep. Yep.
So
I
it's
never
definitely,
have to
I feel
worry
it's
about running
generational.
into you anywhere. I don't.
Yeah, well, I know, but and I think about that. Like, what would you do? I mean, you could. Well, yeah, I forgot you moved. But I mean, like, what would you do if you ran into someone who ghosted you, who you thought was a friend?
I say nothing. I say nothing. I use the term ghost quite literally in that moment. I don't see you. If you
Hmm.
chose to just disconnect from me, like I said, without trying to have a conversation and talk it through, I'm Gucci. I can see you and act like you're not. I can reach around you to get a box of Fruit Loops.
Ah,
I'm listen. Third quarter of my life, B. I don't
yeah,
have the
no
mental
time.
capacity for it.
Yeah,
I do not. I do
yeah.
not.
Because I don't know what I do because it just feels so weird, and I'm the type of person like I don't know if I could just plain ignore you. I
Yeah.
probably be looking at you like, what the heck? Like
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
it just it would be such a strange thing because I'd never had it happen before. But yeah, you
Yeah.
face to face with someone, but then again, they initiated the ghosting, so they probably
So they'll
just
probably
ignore
ignore
me.
you.
Yeah, ignore me completely. Like, oh, okay, whatever.
As I'm reaching for the Fruit Loops, they're reaching for the Fruity Pebbles. Like, mm, mm. But I mean, are there valid reasons? Is there ever a reason where it's like, oh, I see why that was warranted?
Yeah, like you said, you slept with your man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, and again, we were what, 19, so like, did it at this point, that person has actually tried to reach out to me on Facebook. Um,
Oh,
I'm never on Facebook. I don't, it's not that I don't, I might, I don't know, at some point accept it, but I have a lot of, requests that I haven't accepted, but I really need to get on that. Um, I don't know what we would talk about. Hey, what's the last 30 years of life been like?
but
Like,
yeah, I mean, but that what? Well, first of all, on Facebook, people don't really have
still fucking other
conversations too
people's
much.
men? Like, what are you talking
Oh,
about?
right, exactly. What you been up to? I think it's just that people like to see what other people are doing. It's not so much
Yeah,
to rekindle
yeah,
something. But I was like, if you haven't already, you're not missing them. Like, what's the point of accepting it? I don't know you, and
yeah,
I don't know you. So
yeah,
it's like, it's no point. Like you keep saying too, like this third quarter thing. It's like I don't want to expend the energy. I don't have the time. I've got my own crap going on. So, I mean, you asked about a valid reason to ghost. I
mm-hmm,
don't know because I think no, because just say what you had to say. If
mm-hmm,
if if you were a friend and someone hurt your feelings, you know, if you cared about them at all, you would give
yeah,
them a chance
yeah,
to say what happened. And it may not even be what you think. You didn't give the person an opportunity to say
right,
anything.
right, yeah, yeah. And I think that being ghosted is probably worse than anything you could say. I think. I think. Because you could come up to and be like, yo, I hated you. I never liked you. You're a trifling ass. But at that point,
But
we're
now you
going
know.
right back to square A. We were never that cool at all. If you feel like you can come in my face and say that without me punching you in yours, the friendship just went out the window. But yeah, I don't know if having been in that situation, I don't know if I would consider. I mean, I did consider it a friendship. It was nowhere near yours with that
Oh, of
person,
course,
but
but
it was
yeah, there's
definitely a
levels.
friendship.
It was more than a right. It was more than just an acquaintance. We
Yeah,
were you were moving
it
into that
definitely
friendship
had
realm.
promising potential. That's for
Right,
sure.
exactly.
That's for
That's what I
sure.
thought.
Yeah,
That's what I thought.
that's for
Because I
sure.
know it's funny because like with me, I'll meet people and they're definitely on the outside at first. So like I'll tell people I don't like to meet new people.
Yeah,
So then,
at this
you
point in life, I
come
can tell
in,
you too.
yeah, you got to come in kind of slow, and eventually, you can get to friend status. So I
Hmm.
mean, it takes a minute with me, just because I'm not looking for new friends. I'm not looking for new people to have to entertain. so
Yeah, yeah.
so if you can get to that,
I will say this, having moved to a new city, I'm not opposed to meeting new people to hang out with, but I don't need any best friends. I have
right?
my circle and you guys are it. I don't
Oh.
care to it. Like, even if even if one of y'all decided, like, you know what, I can't fuck with that no more, her mental breakdowns are way too much for me, I can't do it anymore, I would not be looking to fill that spot. My circle just became a little smaller. Like, I don't
Wow.
have
Okay.
that now. I have a bet. uh Corey and I have a bet that I have to have a boyfriend by the end of the summer. We bet
Oh.
$100.
Oh.
He tried to bet me $500. That's how confident he is that by the end of the summer I will still be single. He was like, "I'll bet
Oh.
$500."
Wow.
But the reality of it all was, in case I lose, I'm not giving you $500. So we went down to 100, and we do pay our bets. When we have bets, we do pay
Wow.
them. So I gotta find a boyfriend.
Yeah, we gotta get you
Even
hooked up because
even if I break up
yeah.
with him the first day of fall, by the end of the
I'm
summer,
looking I'm looking for a summer boyfriend.
that's it. I mean, if it lasts longer, great. But I can't lose this $100.
Mm,
So
mm, mm. I thought he
wait
was gonna
till
say
no.
you would have a boyfriend. It's like, oh
No, I'm saying I will have one.
no, I thought he would bet that you would have one. It's like,
Oh
oh,
no, yeah, he was
he a
definitely like,
little
you will not.
faith.
So then I said to my daughter, I was like, "Hey," I said, "I need your help." I said, "I gotta find a boyfriend." She was like, "Just pay the money."
Oh, stop it. Stop it. Snatch up one of her friends. You can be a cougar.
Oh, that's so gross. Oh, that's so
We talked about
gross.
that before. We did
Oh
one.
yes, that's so gross. That's
I'm not
gross.
trying to
That's so
raise
evil.
my man. I'm not.
So you actually brought up a very good point about being ghosted and ghosting. That technology plays a huge part in, I mean, it's quite literally the only way you can do it.
Right.
Because if there were no cell phones and iPads, and you would be forced to see that person, and to just ignore someone who's staring you in the face. Now, mind you, I'm talking back in the day, because like I said, I'll reach around you right now to get the Fruit Loops. But that's because we're already not speaking. But for us to still be in the same circle and see each other every day and still not
Yeah.
say anything, like, somebody would have to be like, "What is your problem?" No, what is your
Hmm.
even if it leads to an argument or a fight. But
Right.
technology makes it so easy, because you take their number out, you block them on, so their calls go straight to
Yeah.
voicemail. You leave them on red, as the kids would
Yeah.
say.
I know, right? Oh gosh. You unfriend them on Facebook.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
oh,
or Instagram or whatever.
yeah, all
You
that.
don't
Yeah. It's
you
like,
don't share TikToks with them anymore.
oh,
Listen, I would miss that. Like, I do love me a good TikTok. I don't go on there myself, but I do love a good TikTok. They
mm,
make me
mm,
laugh. They
mm.
make me giggle so much.
So would you, well, I guess I know the answer to that, but like, do you think it's important to seek closure to find out why? Does it make you, would it make you feel any better to know why?
So that answer is twofold, because depending on the person, yes. Um, in some instances, maybe I just don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I don't, like, I didn't care to try to find out the why of this situation, because I kind of felt like you did. Apparently, it wasn't what I thought it was, so that's fine. Um, but if it were like one of my circle, I absolutely need to know why. That's what I was
Yeah.
saying. Like, I would at least try to have that conversation with the person to say, "Hey, where did we go wrong? Was it a me thing, or maybe it's just you overreacting, or But yeah, I would need to know in that situation. Um, I'm not gonna beg for it. I'm gonna try, and then depending on the response I get, that dictates the next move. But for an important relationship, I do need to know why.
Yeah, I concur. I think that, yeah, that too. 'Cause yeah, I can imagine if you just stopped talking to me.
Right? Just if you
Oh
just
yeah,
stop answering my calls.
I'm driving down,
Yeah,
and I'm gonna find out.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Because first thing
seriously,
I do
that's the
though
thing.
is to make sure, look, for you, like you said, you have your moments. First thing I do is make sure you're alive.
Yeah, yeah,
I want to be mad at you and you're dead.
yeah. Yo, that would be so shitty. Like, oh, I can't believe it. She dead.
But once I found out you're alive, oh, it's on.
It's on and
It's on.
popping. It's
That's
on
right.
and popping.
Because I did that before, calling around like, where is she?
Yeah. Yeah, I do have a tendency to go dark, but I do try to let people know, hey, I'm in a funk and
Yeah,
I
you
just
got
need to
much better
get
about
through
that.
it. Yeah, I just need to
Yeah.
get through it. But yeah, I couldn't imagine like if I tried to reach out to you and you just never answered and then say like I text Corey or something like, "Hey, how's your mom? I haven't heard from her." And she'd be like, "Oh no, she's good."
She good. You'd be like, oh, that heifer.
Like,
So
"Oh,
she about to not be good when I get a hold of her.
right." And then I mean, and again, I would try to pass messages. I would try to repair that, whatever the situation was. But if you decided like, look, I'm done, then I have to be done. I can't force you to be in my life. It would break my heart, and then I'd go to work. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like I
right.
can't
Yeah,
I
you have
can't
to move
not
on. Yeah.
right. I can't not live. I still got kids to take care of. I still have bills. I still have, responsibility. It would be hard to get through that, that initial um but yeah, the thought of that is like, oh,
Yeah, I was like, oh,
like yuck.
cannot. Oh, but it made me just think of something. Um, I guess I've ghosted someone, but I think they thought our relationship was more than it was.
Mhm.
So, so I felt a little guilty, but at the same time, it was a little draining for
Mhm.
me to be in that. I use the word loosely relationship. Yeah,
Mhm.
because it was one sided, really. It was like I didn't really want to be there. I found myself in that, and then, like I said, it got to be a little too much for me, and
Mhm.
yeah, I just like didn't answer. So I guess is that the chicken way out to to not say, like you said, not say hey, but I didn't want to hurt their feelings by saying I don't have nothing in common. I don't really see why we talking.
Yeah. Yeah. Now that the one you're describing is a different situation.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Like you
yeah.
ghosted somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. See, again, it depends on what happened. If something happened and you know why that person's not speaking to you. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if it's that kind
Yeah.
of thing. Otherwise, I think you owe it to somebody to say, look,
To say.
this is what you did. It hurt my feelings. It costed me money. It costed me time. Whatever the situation was. But I mean, at some point, I think you should at least say to the
Yeah.
person, like, hey, this is what you
But
did wrong, and this is why I feel the way I do, and
but that's the
it can
thing.
either be repaired or not.
They didn't do anything. I just didn't. I don't want to talk to them no more. I just
So,
we weren't friends. We weren't.
right.
I didn't consider us friends. We just happened to know each other, and they started calling. And they chatted up, and to not be rude, I would chat back, but I didn't. I never initiated a call. I
And I guess,
and then
but I guess that brings up my next question. Like, I guess, like, when is it okay? Like, what, when is it acceptable to just not speak? Like, what kind of thing for you? I know in that situation, that person really didn't do anything. You were just, I'm just not we're not friends anymore. But what is a good situation to say, oh, I can't,
Hmm.
I just cannot
And
at
I
your
guess like
age, at your
yeah.
age now, not back in the day,
Well,
because anything
yeah,
could have
considering
worked.
I have no patience. But I guess it's like, yeah, you don't bring anything to the relationship. If you're
Hmm.
just whenever we talk, it's always, something negative or something insignificant. Like I said, I'm not looking for new friends. And I feel bad, but I'm not. And so if we're not having meaningful conversations, but you're absolutely right. It's wrong. I think it's still wrong to just don't answer the phone anymore. Because I didn't think about it until we're talking now, and I was like,
Yeah,
so it's just I don't know. And then so when do you stop calling? When do you get the hint that
yeah.
maybe they just not answering? They're not busy. They're not busy after all of these
When
calls.
you call their daughter and they say she all right,
They calling you once a week and you
she,
always not available.
yeah, she just took the kids to the beach. She's fine. And my kids, if I don't speak to you, you're not getting through to them either. Because my kids are like me. Like, oh, you're not
Oh,
speaking to her no more. Block.
uh,
My babies are
uh,
always on my side, even if I'm wrong. They're
oh,
like, well,
right,
look, well, they shouldn't have
yeah,
lent you
exactly.
$20 then if they wanted it back.
Right, right. That's
My
right.
baby's
You
got
got
my
to
back.
be down with the cause. That's
Yeah.
right. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
We were talking before about kind of like moving forward, like when somebody ghosts you, or still got to go to work the next day, you still got to take care of the kids, you still got to go grocery shopping and all that. Um, but man, when it's someone close, like I'm still trying to figure out, like I can say it, but I wonder how that really works. Because remember, for a while when me and one of my best friends didn't speak, we went like a year and a half without speaking. So we went through, we had a bump in the road, and it was a big one. And I guess technically I ghosted, because I did just stop taking the calls, but at the same time that person knew why.
That yeah, I think that's the difference. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it was a struggle getting up in the morning, and it was a struggle going to sleep. That's who I spoke to, the
Hmm.
first person I spoke to every day, and the last person I
Mm.
spoke to before going to bed. So it was kind of like quitting when I quit drinking and smoking. That's how it felt. Like,
Mm.
because I was so used to doing that thing. And then when it wasn't happening anymore, it threw my whole
Oh yeah.
fucking day off. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And then once we started back, in my head, I was like, I'm not gonna let it get like that again. And
Yep.
clearly it is, because
Yeah.
we talk about that all the time. Like our FaceTime, if you look at how much time we spend on the phone, utterly ridiculous. But I wouldn't change it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. But I mean, I understand what you're saying too. When you got back into it, it's like I don't want to put myself in that situation again. So that's how you go into it a little reserved to try to protect
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
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 But I mean, I mean, it works, and I'm glad things worked out. But yeah, it's just it's touchy. It's touchy, and like I said, it depends on
Yeah.
the depth of the relationship. The deeper it is, the harder it is.
Yeah.
So luckily, mine was a little superficial. So it didn't
Apparently.
when I got ghosted. It didn't hurt as much as it disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what I felt the most of. It's like because, like I said, I had no idea why.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a chance to explain myself or apologize or whatever it was because I have no idea
What it
what you
was. Yeah.
think what you think I did to you.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. I think that situation, that person kind of put us both in the same category, and
mm,
just decided that it was a twofer.
you're right, right. I mean, I know we tight, but and I say we're the same person, but we're not really.
Yeah.
We're not
I mean,
really the
that's the only
same
thing I can
person.
think of.
Or
That's the
maybe
only
they thought they couldn't keep one without the other. I don't know. Got to have a match pair like socks. Speaking of socks,
Very nice segue. I got some regular schmegulars on today.
And I felt like
A long
donuts
way.
because I haven't had any sweets in over a week.
Oh, yay, good for you.
Oh girl, I'm telling you, it's tough. It's
Girl,
tough. But I'm trying to get to this vacation you promised
I know
me.
that's right. You mean a vacation that we're both paying for ourselves to go to?
Huh?
That what?
Huh? What?
I'm gonna tell you how. I'm gonna tell you how. What I say, 20 pounds. I was trying to get down
Yeah.
20. Did I say 20 or 25? I hope I
Yeah. I
said
think
20.
you said 20. You said 25. I said 20.
Shit. Well, I ain't making the 25. I'm barely gonna make the 20. I'm down about 9 from when I
uh,
started.
I've been doing halfway decent. It helped the pneumonia and the stomach bug. They
Right.
they helped a little bit.
That had to have helped. Yeah.
Yeah, it helped. So I had to, once I got that momentum, I gotta not put it back on, and that's the
Yeah.
struggle because I love sweets.
That's like me with beer. That's why I don't drink anymore. Because people always like you can't just have like a glass of wine. Oh no. Oh
Mhm.
no. Heavens no. One glass of
See,
wine for me is like, girl, go ahead and get you a 6 pack of
see,
beer. Girl, get you a
s-
12 pack and stop playing with it. Like,
and
that's
that's what
my
people don't
problem.
understand that food can be as addictive.
Yes,
'Cause
it is. It is though. It can be just. It may not be chemically addicting, but it is mentally.
actually, it
Like,
can be because sugar is highly addictive, and that
mm,
is my drug of choice.
gotcha.
Yeah. So, and like you can not walk into a bar, but I cannot not walk into food. Now, granted, I cannot run into cake. It's a struggle. It's a
Yeah.
struggle. So maybe cake
I
should ghost me.
Girl, on that note, let me share a quick story before we go. So we all went out to eat a few days ago, me, my friend, and my two daughters, and it was a sushi restaurant. So there was sushi that had octopus on it. And I said to him, I was like, ugh. I was like, you eat
Mm.
octopus? And he thought he said it low. He was like, I eat the second part. Oh gosh, the terrible part is a lot of people know who I'm talking about. I am so sorry. I mean, I mean, are there still guys who don't do that?
I don't
Is
know
that
them.
a topic? Is that a new topic?
I
Or
don't
yes
know.
or no?
Oh, ooh, well, I guess somebody will comment and let us know.
Yeah. Yeah, let us know if you want us to talk about that because I got conversation for days.
You just trying to find your boyfriend. That's all. Go ahead and put
Uh,
that out there. What area are you looking for a man?
I am in the Greensboro, North Carolina area. I'll go as far
Mm.
out as Charlotte and maybe as far out as like Raleigh, Durham. That's it. I go
So,
no
what
further.
are your
That's it.
qualifications? What are we looking for?
Born a male.
That's important these days.
It
Well, to
is.
some
And
people, that is
it's no
important to me. Yeah.
shade. It's
Yeah,
no
yeah, yeah,
shade.
exactly.
It's no shade. It's just that's my preference. Like if I had to see, this is a problem. If I have to describe what I want, everybody says I'm describing a certain person, but I'm not. It's just I always say that I want my boyfriend, if I'm laying on my back, I want his whole body to be able to cover mine. Like I don't want you to be able to see me underneath him.
It's gonna be.
Like, yeah, I want to be shorter. I want him to be wider. I want him to be longer, like the whole thing. I
Yeah.
want to, like, if I'm laying there, it should look like he's just laying face down on a bed.
If that's what you want, that's what you
Yes.
deserve.
I don't have a
Yes.
preference, light skin, dark skin. I've dated outside of my race. I don't have a preference in that way. Um, but I would prefer it if they were bigger than me. I like to wear a heel. I'm
Mm.
sorry.
Mm.
This is for you, sir. I like to wear heels. I always
Ah,
say I
yeah.
like to wear a heel, and somebody's like, ah, it's.
That's
But
fine.
no, I do. I love to wear a heel. I
How
prefer it
tall
to
are
be.
you?
I'm 5'7" on the nose, so I prefer at least a 4-inch heel. That puts me at 5'11". I'd like for you to be taller than 5'11".
Okay.
That's it. Please,
Age.
job. Hold on, we'll get back to that because that's even less important. I need you to have a job. I need you to have your own place and your own transportation. It doesn't have to be a freaking Benz, but I'd like for it not to be a Pinto. I'm not materialistic in that way. You know what I mean? I'm not. But, you know, I don't want to be the only one always driving, but
Yeah.
you know, age, this is where it gets tricky because physically, I'm 53, going on 54. By physically, I mean my knees don't bend the same. I got to make sure I'm sitting straight before I sneeze. I can't just pop up. So physically, I'm 53 going on 54. I don't think I look 53,
No.
although I'm sure there are some people who are like, yes, you do, bitch. I don't
No,
know.
you don't.
But
No,
I
you don't.
definitely do not feel 53. Now, I don't know what 53 is supposed to feel like,
Right.
but
Right.
I don't feel like I'm half a century old. How's that hit? Half a century.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't feel that. So I don't want to be with someone who has given up on life and all they want to do is sit in the house and, watch TV. Like, I need to be able to do stuff. I don't need someone who wants to be out all the time either. You see what I'm saying? I just need that balance. So either
Hmm.
a mature 40, I'll go as low as like 40, but he has to be a mature 40 because the average 40-year-old will get tired of a 53 because by the time he's 45, now I'm 58. You see what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
or if I'm on the other end of the spectrum, I don't think I can go past 60 and he has to be a young 60. So
I feel you.
yeah, so
Makes
I don't
sense.
think I'm too picky.
I don't think so at all. At
I
all.
think
I
that's
don't think you're really
realistic.
asking for a lot.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm really
And
not.
like I said, at our age, just tell me what you want. We don't have time for games. You
Girl.
know. No.
Yes, like oh my gosh, like what is all this dating for 2, 3 years in your 50s? Nigga, if you don't just say I do and you say I do, if that's the goal, if not, like at this point you should be dating with a purpose
I think so.
at this stage in life. If you're still single and you're out in these streets, this is a whole nother episode.
I
Let's
know.
cut it. Let's say goodnight to the fine people. Let me put my Sally Jesse Raphael's on. Go find
But
me
I
my
think the
Janine
point
Harkison.
is that it's not polite to ghost someone. I think that's what we got out of the whole thing.
It
It's
is
just
not
not
polite
polite.
to ghost someone. Is there ever a time where it's not warranted? Maybe not. I mean, maybe there is a time where it should happen. If you can't say something nice or if you can't have the conversation without it turning into a fight or something like that, then maybe. But for the most part, at a mature age, you shouldn't be ghosting people.
I concur.
Yeah. So on that note, like, subscribe, follow, share, and comment. That's what the people should
Yes.
be doing.
Yes. Because we would love to hear from you. But as she said,
Yes.
until next time, keep it easy, Greasy. I'm so old.
Oh, you are. Laters. Are you picking up what we're putting down? If so, now's the time to like, follow, subscribe, and share. We'd also love to hear from you. Give us a call at 757-504-4649, or you can email us at lifecracksusup@gmail.com, or just drop us a comment. If you're so inclined, do all three.
Thank you for hanging out with us. Be sure to like, follow, share, and subscribe, and look for a new episode every Wednesday.